Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and Christian Koloko is officially back with the Lakers. If you guys tuned in to my Christian Koloko breakdown video detailing his strong Las Vegas Summer League, I no doubt helped manifest and wish cast this official two-way signing. Having said that, I do still think that the Lakers should eventually standardize Christian Koloko, give him a real NBA roster spot and a real NBA contract, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And in today's video, I actually want to talk about an aspect of Christian Koloko's game that nobody is talking about. And today, we're not going to talk about Christian Koloko's defense. We are actually going to do a quick film breakdown of Christian Koloko's offense. What? But his offense is so offensive. You're right, it has been throughout his career. But in the Vegas Summer League, I saw some things that were pretty encouraging with regards to how they were using Christian Koloko and some of the specific offensive skill sets that he started to show some flashes of improvement on. So that's what we're going to look at today. I'm going to pull up some clips. We're going to look at Christian Koloko's skill work to see whether he can transition into being more of a competent offensive hub at center and not just be viewed as a one-dimensional, clunky defensive type of center. So I'm going to pull up some video. You guys are going to join me for the ride. And yeah, that's how it's going to go. But before I pull up some tape, if you guys could please do me the huge favor of liking this video, commenting down below, and most importantly, please hitting this channel up with a subscribe. That would help me out a ton. All right, with that said, let me pull up some tape. All right, so here is all the footage that I've compiled from Christian Koloko's Las Vegas Summer League through 5 games, and we are again going to focus on his offensive skill improvement. And first, I want to talk about his passing. So I'm going to run the tape. Maybe I'll pause here and there, but largely I will let the tape run and I'll talk over it. First, we're going to look at his improved passing. Now, Christian Koloko is never going to be an amazing playmaker. He's never going to be a Jokic-like visionary at the center spot, but considering where he started and how clunky he was at the beginning of his career with no accuracy and no velocity and zip whatsoever in his passes, I think even the small strides that he showed in this regard in Summer League, it's something to take note of. So let's watch some of this footage. So look at him directing traffic here. And then boom, over the head, over the shoulder pass to Bronny James, cutting to the basket. I mean, he didn't have that in his bag a year ago. Here, kind of same deal as the getting the ball in the post, Dalton Connect cutting, and boom. Very accurate pass. Nothing came of it, but nice pass by Christian Koloko. Here he gets the rebound, has very good instincts and feel to perfectly pitch it out to the three-point shooter. Very accurate pass right in the shooter's pocket. In. And then this last clip, we've got Christian Koloko in the G League throwing this nice bounce pass to the cutter on the baseline. And boom. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that Christian Koloko's improved passing and his velocity in his passes and his accuracy does not go unnoticed because, again, these used to be fumbles. These used to be a steal for the other team. But the fact that he's actually finding his teammates and the awareness to make these types of reads, I think bodes well for Christian Koloko's future. He's still going to be turnover prone. He's still going to maybe, anticipate the wrong spots that his teammates are going to be in. But what he's shown, at least in the passing department in Summer League and even some improvements in the G League, give me some hope. All right, now I want to focus on Christian Koloko's usage as a DHO hub and the way that he sort of became I don't want to say he's like a 5-out big, but the way the Lakers were using him in Summer League, he was a lot more active on offense as a guy who would, again, engage in DHO actions, screen, then rescreen, shift the angle of his screen. I just like the way that the Lakers were using him and the reps that he was able to get as this motion 5-out big who was involved in the action. Again, I don't know if you want Christian Koloko doing this at the next level, but the fact that they're just giving him reps to get a feel for how it is to be that DHO hub as the big man at the top of the key, I think it's smart. And actually, some of the things that Christian Koloko showed, his awareness, his ability to get the ball to his teammates without turning the ball over, again, I think they're promising. There's still a lot to work on, but let's watch some of these DHO screening plays from Christian Koloko. Here he is at the top of the three-point line. You're going to see a down screen for Cole Swider. Look at him put it between his legs, pass it off to Cole Swider. Look, he's even putting the ball on the floor. I think that's one thing that I liked from Christian Koloko, directing his teammates. He could have screened better for Cole Swider there, but he got it to the shooter. Shooter knocked it down. In this play, he's got Dalton Connect curling off of his screen. Another dribble handoff play. Again, fakes off the DHO actually, dribbles the ball on the floor, doesn't get it stripped. That might have been called a moving screen in the NBA, but he did his job, free Dalton Connect up for the layup. This next play, he's at the top of three-point arc, dribble handoff to Cole Swider again. He actually shifts the screening action just in case Cole Swider wanted to attack the closeout. Here he is being patient, screen, shifts the angle. Cole Swider hits the bucket, gets the shooter's bounce. Here he is again, pitching the ball out, screening, rolling. Here he is in the post. He pitches it out to the shooter, comes up to screen for him. Player goes in. I just like the patience that Christian Koloko showed this summer league and the fact that he was a willing screener and participant on the offensive end of the floor who did more than just dunk the ball and clean up. Here he is at the top of the three-point arc, gives the ball up, directing traffic, and then he rolls eventually for this nice lay-in. And so even though this isn't for another teammate of his, you can see Christian Koloko's gears turning in his head and things start to sort of click for him. You know, he's like, give it to the three-point shooter behind me. No. All right. How about I'll cut? Just really good awareness and recognition by Christian Koloko on that play. Here he is, maybe setting a down screen. No, this is a set play. He's going to set that screen for Bronny, roll, and then Bronny with a really nice bounce pass to Christian Koloko. So yeah, again, really like that Christian Koloko is getting these reps in as a screener, re-screener, DHO hub. The more reps, the more comfortable he's going to get and the less clunky he's going to look. And you can see the improvement and progress in his game from this standpoint in this aspect. Here he is, DHO to Bronny, screens off the guys a couple times, flips out, gets the open window. Yeah, you can see Christian Koloko getting a better feel for everything, knowing when to open up and flare out and roll, knowing when to just screen his guy off. Here he is at the three-point line, screening for Cole Swider. So these are now reps where I think Christian Koloko, I mean, he's still clearly a work in progress, right? And if you look at this screen, he barely brushes his guy. He should have just stayed there, I think, for Cole Swider. He went to roll too quickly, in my opinion. Here's another example of, Christian Koloko should be getting contact on these screens. He didn't for RJ Davis here. And so clearly this is still all a work in progress for Christian Koloko. But the thing that I'm encouraged about is the fact that he was run in so many of these actions that just the repetition and the reps, I think, will help him out. So there's another example, right? He screens for Cole Swider coming off of that screen or coming off of that flare. And look, he barely gets any contact here. He should have stood his ground. He's already, rolling to the rim. Cole Swider gets the bucket anyways. But again, still a work in progress. Like that down screen that he just set for Cole Swider. Again, he could have maintained his ground a little better, actually waited to get contact, did the job anyways. But I think these are all things that Christian Koloko will continue to improve upon at the next level. There he is screening for Cole Swider again. And again, he could do a better job of making himself big, holding the man off a little bit better. But it's there. The shell of a good offensive player. I wouldn't say offensive player per se, but the shell of a competent offensive center with skill who knows his job as the DHO screener for his team. I think the shell of it is there. All right, lastly, let's look at these plays of just Christian Koloko showing off a little bit more skill besides just put back dunks, two-handed jams, alley-oops, because I also think from a touch and flexibility and agility standpoint, he did show some flashes of a little bit more offensive versatility as well. So all right, you're going to see Christian Koloko at the top of the three-point arc. He's going to be cutting down the paint, and Cole Swider is going to hit him. Let's watch this play. Nice Euro step to evade the charge. So this is the type of skill that I haven't seen from Christian Koloko. Nice English, nice finger roll. Last year, that probably would have been like a straight charge. He would have gotten the offensive foul. But the fact that he was able to evade his man in that moment and then also show some nice touch with the finger roll, very encouraging stuff. This next play, this is the play before where we saw him sort of directing traffic and realizing that there was no outlet on the perimeter. So he inevitably dives. And in this dive, here he is showing off some nice touch, nice patience as well. You know, it's not just a straight dunk. He extends his arm. He does a little bit of a gather as well. And so there are flashes here for Christian Koloko of being a less clunky player who is very one-dimensional on the offensive end. There he is, flashing his arms. He's open. I think he gets the and one on this play as well. This, he shows like a nice hook shot, nice touch there as well. And then, of course, his jump shooting. There's the mid-range jump shot. This is the three-point shot on the wing that he hits. Form looks good. And then in the G League, he did this as well. Showed off some touch. Oh, I guess I cut it off there. All right, so there's my quick film study on Christian Koloko's offensive improvement in the Las Vegas Summer League. I hope we get to see more of it with the South Bay Lakers next year, and I hope we get to see more of it on the big club as well, because I would love to see Christian Koloko start to show off that utility as a screener. I would like to see him improve as a screener, but clearly that feel is starting to manifest itself if Summer League is any indication, because there's some good stuff here. You know, he's improved his accuracy passing wise. He's improved his understanding of knowing his screening angles, how to rescreen. And again, just getting into those motions, getting those reps, I think will help him out a lot. And I hope with the big club, guys like Luka Doncic and LeBron James and Austin Reeves will continue to help him out. And yeah, I'm excited for Christian Koloko. Again, we know what he's going to bring on the defensive end of the floor. I think he's actually bulked up pretty well this summer as well. But I'm also excited about the skill work that he's been doing. Even just learning how to dribble the ball twice without fumbling it away, I think is pretty important for a guy like him. Because all of a sudden, now JJ Redick may trust him a little more. You know, that was the problem with Koloko last season. Redick didn't seem to trust him on the offensive end. So the fact that he's been working on these skills and the fact that he's actually started to show flashes tangibly in the Las Vegas Summer League, that gives me hope for Christian Koloko. And obviously, clearly the Lakers felt the same way because they gave him his two-way contract back. And again, I think that was always the plan. That's why they made him a restricted two-way free agent. But I think it's just further validation, especially when you consider the fact that they waived Trey Jameson in the process. So I think things are looking up for Christian Koloko. I like his trajectory, and I hope we actually get to see him more with the big squad, vying for legitimate backup big minutes against Jackson Hayes. So yeah, look out for Christian Koloko. That'll do it for this video. Once again, guys, please, please, please like this video, comment down below, drum up the engagement and activity. And most of all, please hit subscribe on this channel. I don't have time to do this stuff, but I'm making time at the detriment of my relationship with my wife. So please show me that this is all not in vain. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the fans and listeners who have been tuning in to my live. Please continue to do so. But yeah, the best thing you can do for me right now is to like the video, comment down below, hit subscribe. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.